most interesting parts about chapter 83 of Gachiakuta is the fact that this really let you know just how strong Zanka really is. We thought that he had the spell, right? I know I talked about it in the previous chapter saying like, oh, maybe he had a poison resistance spell. Maybe that was it. Maybe that is how things got mixed up, but that wasn't the case. I actually want to get into this because it was really interesting. Rimlin messed up. Not that she messed up, she did it on purpose because she thought it would be funny if Zanka had a hilarious spell. And it was the Popeye arms, dog. That had me dying. But where there's comedy, there's truth. Listening to Zanka talk was one of the more impactful moments of this chapter. And I think it was the most impactful moment. Aside from the Rudo Zanka interaction at the end, which really had me cracking up. But anyways, y'all already know, it's your boy DomoSenpai, the Gachiakuta enthusiast, the Kagurabachi enthusiast. It's been a while, and it's getting harder and harder for me to get my hands on the chapters, which sucks, but it's cool because when I get them, I will be able to get the videos out for you guys. And like always, if you're new to the channel and have yet to subscribe, man, make sure y'all do that. We're trying to get to 100K by the end of the year. I believe in myself more than anything that we can really get there. And of course, if you watched my latest video, not the Kagurabachi one, but like one of my later personal videos, been in a dark place, man. Majority of January. It was just a lot going on, and there was even some stuff that I left out of that, right? Like battling with copyright strikes and it really dampening my mood and stuff like that. I didn't talk about any of that because I felt like it would be too long of a talk. But I got my stuff out, right? I got my shit off and I got to talk to you guys about it. So without any further ado, y'all know we're gonna get into this chapter, but it's time for the intro. All right, man, let's actually talk about it because again, we could talk about Rimlin and her messing up. We can talk about Rudo and him understanding things now and realizing just how important Zanka is to him and just how far Engine saw into the future about what Zanka could do for him. You know what I mean? But that's not what I want to talk about. I really want to talk about Zanka. He's the most durable character in this entire manga. And that shows itself in spades here because like I said, my initial prognosis of what Rimlin did was a poison resistance spell because he should have died, right? The poison was so nasty he should have died, but instead what it did was the Popeye arm. People thought Zanka was gonna be pissed, but he wasn't. It made him laugh. He understands that those spells were nothing but insurance. And I like what he said even more after that was, I never go into battle presuming I could count on that kind of safety. And that really hit me because I'm like, Zanka is one of the most prepared people. He makes sure that not only is he mentally sound, but he is physically like sound as well, right? Very important to note. He still holds on to that past. He still holds on to the idea that he's not good enough, and that's the chip on his shoulder. Remember, we've talked about that since we met him. He seemed like he was a chippy guy, right? Like he had something to prove. And when we learned about his backstory, that was really telling that he couldn't live up to the expectations of his family. So something happened there, right? We're gonna find that out later on. And he says, I'm still too weak, and that's the problem. It ain't nobody's fault but mine. I really like that because this helps us understand Zanka more than we thought we did. And it also reassures Engine that he's who he thought he would become, saying he's growing up. He's still got some room to grow, and as much as he doesn't call himself a genius, he really is. And he's shown us glimpses of that, and it's one of the coolest things to see moving forward because now he's going to be mentoring Rudo even more, and that's why I love the conversation that they have here. He lets him know, like, if I was fighting for real and I still got beat up worse than anybody else, I just have to get stronger. stronger and the problem goes away. I love that. It's a counter to who he was. In his backstory, he always thought he was somebody. He always thought he was special until he met Hyo. And that changed everything. That changed his entire perspective. It crushed him, humbled him, and brought him back to reality and made him who he is today, which is why I can't wait for us to meet Hyo again, because I feel like that's gonna be one of the most important interactions for Zanka's character development, because again, he is developing and we're seeing it. This also really helped Rudo, right? Now we're moving into Rudo territory. Rudo understands that I'm the cause of all of this, which is true, but Zanka doesn't blame him for any of it, because Zanka realizes I need to be better, and that is going to help Rudo in spades. I love this smile, by the way, because it really reminds you of their first interaction, right? Chapter 4? Rudo still doesn't know how to smile. Right? Rudo still doesn't know how to smile, man, and Zanka pretty much has the same reaction, like, bro, what the hell? But again, I love it because it highlights the relationship between the two. And even August and Engine realize, like, they're such good friends, right? They're really a master and pupil relationship, right? Mentor-pupil relationship. I gotta make sure I clarify that, because the master-pupil relationship is really Engine and Zanka in that aspect, right? It was a chapter that, while it didn't have any action, it signified the progression of Zanka and Rudo, and that means a lot to me, because while we are 80 plus chapters deep in this, we're starting to see the characters develop into even more of a character. It's really good. It feels really good. And I'm sorry for missing chapters and stuff like that, but like I said, bro, it's getting so hard to acquire these pages or these chapters because of the systems that Manga and them are implementing, and I don't have a built-in descrambler, right? If any of y'all know of somebody who has a code for that or has a program for that that I could actually put into my browser and then be able to get the chapters themselves, make sure y'all let me know, because man, it's hard, bro. It's hard. And again, thank you to everybody who's actually working to get me these chapters, like JDS, and I really appreciate y'all more than y'all know. But anyways, let me know what you guys thought about this chapter down below. Leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new. This is video 2 of 3 that I'm recording today. It's actually probably gonna be more, because there's also another video that I have to react to, as far as Udana talking about design with one of my favorite skateboarders, like one of my favorite new skateboarders. And if y'all ain't know, I've been a fan of skateboarding since I was a child. I miss my old Dragon Ball Z skateboard I had when I was a kid, but that's neither here nor there. That thing got broke. Like I said, make sure y'all let me know what you guys thought. And with that being said, man, it's your boy DomoSenpai, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.